Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Rachel, as in Rachel G. Palmistry, and you are watching Spiritual Psychics TV. Thank you for joining for this evening. I am going to be reading palms, and I am going to try to keep it a little bit shorter than what I normally do. And how do we do that? Well, first off, I'm going to focus maybe the majority of my time here tonight on palms. And if I do have time and if my voice stays very strong, I will also do some cards if I have time and if the voice is willing. And with the cards, they will be very, very quick, and they are tarot. So it's like maybe a minute per person for those people who do not get their palms read. But so how do we do this, right? The hand that you write with, that is your current life. That's your dominant hand. You need to take a photo of that palm, right? With light facing the palm, not behind it, but facing the palm from the wrist all the way out to the very tips of the fingers. Include all of that, okay? And then you send that hand that you write with, which is your current life, you send that photo in to the email that is on the screen. What? All right. So anyway, just some chatter here. Don't worry about it. Just between Richard and me here. So if you have any like hesitation or anything like that about sending in a picture of your palm, my goodness, what's going to happen in that picture? Nobody keeps those photos. Trust me. Nobody keeps those photos. But palmistry, if you've never ever had a palm reading, the type of palm, there are thousands of different ways of reading palms. First off, I need to tell you that. As an example, Chinese palmistry, there is no current and past life. And why do I say current and past life? Because the type of palmistry that I do, the hand that you write with may be your current life, but the hand that you do not write with is your past life. We are not doing those tonight, okay? Only the current life. But as I said, as an example, in Chinese palmistry, they will only read the right hand for men and the left hand for women. There is no crossover between the hands at all whatsoever in their type of palmistry. Thousands and thousands of different ways of reading palms. So mine is more of a soul and an element approach. So be brave. Your hand, meaning the photo of your hand. If I do get called to read your hand, it's going to be on the screen. It's going to be online for everybody to see. And, you know, it will be on YouTube and it will be on Facebook so that people can view this at any time they want to, okay? But the photos themselves, for people who do not get a palm reading tonight, they are absolutely discarded, okay? At the end of the show. Boom. Because it takes up too much space in the email, okay? So, with all that, I may have to clear my throat at times. I apologize for that. I'm recovering from some stuff, so just know I do not want to offend anyone, but I have to do that in order to keep breathing and to keep talking. And I'm yammering quite a bit right now, so I do have to clear my throat. All right, so there we go. So I hope I explained everything. I tried. Now, if you have any questions after I do maybe pull a card for you and do one of those mini tarot readings, or even after I do a palm reading, if you do get your palm read tonight and you're like, wait, what did Rachel mean by that? Just find me, Rachel G. Palmistry, Facebook, TikTok, you name it, right? Even go to my website, rachelgpalmistry.com. You can contact me through there. You name it. I love to hear from people. and I love to answer questions, and I'm a talker. Thank goodness I have Richard, the producer, who puts up with me in my ear, who's like, Rachel, Rachel. So I try to keep it, so that I can get as many people in as possible, okay? So, like I said, if I just kind of like leave something and you're like, wait, what does she mean by that? Contact me. Don't just try to interpret it on your own. I've been doing this for 35 years. I can answer the question, okay? I really, really can. So, who do we have here tonight, Richard? Okay. All right. Just got a lot of images in. That's good. Hi, Millie. Hello on YouTube over there. Yeah, that's a very nice picture, Millie. Deborah on YouTube. Welcome. Hello, hello. Limo. Hello, hello. Not in a good mood. Let's see if we can do about that. Okay. Victoria, hello. Good evening to you. Terry, hello, Terry. Thank you for all the work that you do. Sincerely. Light worker. You go, girl. Welcome. Regan, you made it. You didn't miss me. Yay. If you're wondering, Regan contacted me earlier and was trying to figure out the time difference because she's in Australia. So, hello, welcome. You're in the front row and ready. Hey, Joanne, good to see you. Well, not see, but you know what I mean. A banshee. Ooh, hello, welcome. Janet, hello. Facebook. Already did that one. Richard's testing me now. Great. We're off to a great start. Hey, Tracy. Hello. We'll see if I have time. Hey, Ava. And you are welcome. Christine, hello. Haven't seen you in a while. Hi. Kendra, hello, hello. Oh, I love your profile pic. Jade, that's a nice name. Hello, welcome to you as well. Maribel from Texas. Okay. Right. See if we get there, Jade. That's another Jade. Hey, Jackie. S. Lay. Hello. Love the sunflowers. And Pam, welcome to you. I think Richard. Hey, Janine from Hawaii. Wow. Well, welcome. Welcome to SPTV. Hey, Shelly. I'll wave back. Hello, hello. Okay, Carrie. Hi. Good evening to you. It's actually 3:10 in the afternoon for me as I'm in Ohio in the US. So the sun is out here. Woo. Okay, Carrie, you are going to have your palm read tonight. However, Richard is telling me that the photo that you sent in is a little out of focus. Would it be possible for you to just quickly snap another pic and send it back in to that same email for me? Okay, he's going to put it on screen so that I can kind of judge whether I could just use the one you sent in. Can I take a drink of water here? Okay. Oh boy. Fair warning, everyone. I'm feeling kind of spicy tonight. You know what that means? I'm putting Richard through the ringer. before we came on here live. I was putting it through the ringer. All right. So actually, Richard, I can use this. Yeah, I can use it. So Carrie, don't worry about sending in that extra picture. Don't worry about it. Because there are some things that I am immediately drawn to, and that's how I do these mini palm readings. Because usually, if you book with me, a palm reading is at least a half hour, okay, per palm, all right? So with you, I'm going to spend about 5 minutes. I'm going to try. Richard, please help me try to only spend 5 minutes here. But with you, you have something. Now hold on, okay? This is just part of being human. I'm going to preface that. So don't think I am, kind of just pointing my finger at anyone or trying to be mean or anything like that. No, no. It's not about that, okay? You have the element of water and earth that you are working with. And how is that determined? There are 4 elements: earth, air, water, and fire in the type of palmistry that I do. Now, your palm is earthy. Your fingers, because the length and the width, are very watery. Now, when we do things in society, we do them with our fingers. We don't necessarily do them with our palm, do we? So people will automatically sense that water element, which is very intuitive, which is very emotional, but is also very gifted, has a lot of ability underneath that water that nobody can really see. However, it's also a sponge for other people's emotions. So a lot of time, people who have any type of water element to their hand can't differentiate what is truly their emotion versus what belongs to someone else, because they get really caught up in what's going on. So you have to kind of like wring that sponge out, okay? Now, you also have a bit of protection that you have in this current life. Because remember, this is the hand that you write with, so this is your current life. And that is called an actor's formation, which is that Saturn and Apollo are together. What does an actor's formation mean? And I need you to remember this, okay? I should have said remember, when you are dealing with people, that they are seeing this protective device that you put up subconsciously and very energetically to kind of keep people from getting into the earthiness of your palm, because people love nutrients and earth doesn't discern and doesn't discriminate. So people are going to be attracted to that kind of energy that you just give off. Now, actors formation is found on professional actors, but it's also found on people who have to deal with a lot. So they kind of put up, as I said, this little energetic mask, and behind the mask, you might be a real mess, right? Very, very highly emotional, upset, feel hurt about something, but you'll be like, oh, I'm fine. See the smile on the mask? See the smile over here? I'm fine. Carrie, the only way people are going to stop pestering you and stop putting all of their problems on you is if you knowingly take that mask down. But you are going to have boundaries to keep them from just taking your energy away from you and draining you of your energy, and then you will be more overwhelmed and tired. So I hope you understand what I'm getting at. Now, earth hands, earth element, Carrie, they have to respect the boundaries that they themselves create. But unfortunately, they are going to be the only ones who respect and also defend those boundaries. Because as I said, earth is not discriminating. If a seed from a weed gets dropped in it, earth, the soil, is going to be like, ooh, let's pump some nutrients to this weed, right? So understand, people, if you want to kind of let people know that they need to stop, you're going to have to let them see what is behind that mask. But do not let your personal boundaries be crossed when you do it. So I hope that helped, Carrie, okay? And if you have any questions, just let me know. Reach out to me, okay? Because I could literally go on and on and on about Mercury, which is the pinky, and also about your thumb. You've had a lot of, yeah, a lot do that. I bet they do. Now, your thumb, very long. We could talk all day and night about that. And also about Mercury, which is kind of like your backbone when it comes to doing things, all right? So understand your strength. Understand that backbone is meant to hold you up, not anybody else. When you go and you let this mask down and show people how things are really affecting you. Don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed of that. All right, Carrie. Like I said, get in touch, and I hope that helped. See, Richard, I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it short. All right. I actually got a compliment here. Richard said I'm doing well. All right. Oh. All right. So who else do we have? It's all right. We have Isabella from YouTube. Okay. All right. Looking forward to this. My little earbuds keep wanting to fall out. My apologies. All right. So now that you see the type of readings that I do, I hope now that you understand it is more of a soul energy approach because it is based on the elements and also the lines on the hand. But sometimes you can also read a lot just based on the element type that a person is working with for their life, because that doesn't change, meaning the shape of the hand doesn't change really unless something drastic happens, right? But also, you can also get a lot from looking at just the shape of the fingers and how they form, how they are kind of placed on the palm, right? So here we have Isabella's hand. All right. So Isabella, love your hand. I really, really do love your hand. Now, there are some things going on with your hand. You have a very, very rare combination of elements that you are working with. You have both water, but you also have air. Now, I really feel in all the time, I started when I was 15 and I'm 50 now. I really feel of all the palms that I have looked at, air is really the strongest element. Now, why do I say that? Well, you kind of have water, which is the emotion, the empath, the feel, the sponge, right? Feel everything, right? But air, you know the term, any way the wind blows, right? That's because we do not really know what air is going to do, what the wind is going to do. Imagine if somebody were to be like, oh, Isabella, can you help me get to wherever, right? And if they were in a boat, you could be like, no, I'm not going to put wind in your sails to help you because you're not a very nice person. Or you can be even a little more vindictive than that and say, oh yeah, I'll blow wind in your sails, but it'll be in the opposite direction. You can push them all the way back to where they started from. And there also is the third option where you could be like, okay, I'll help you. And you actually help them get to where they want to go. Now, your hand, your fingers are air. And that is what you are actually working with when you deal with people. And your palm itself is water. Okay. Now, even though it looks different than the hand before, with Carrie's hand, right? Because her fingers were water and her palm was earthy. So it's the opposite with you. Now, I am drawn to a few things. First off, Venus, the thumb, is very, very low set on your palm, meaning where it joins is very, very low, okay? But it happens to be very, very long. Now, when Venus is very long, that means that there's a part of you that really wants to be a part of the crowd, that you want to be involved, you want to be asked to join in. But why you are not being asked to join in is because air-handed people, and even though that's just one aspect of you, air-handed people have a vibe that they give off. And that vibe is just as I started out with you by saying, any way the wind blows, right? Which way is the wind going to blow? If people cannot figure that out subconsciously, right, by the energy that somebody gives off, they're going to just kind of be like, oh, but let's not talk to that person. So air-handed people are a bit of, how to put this, they work alone. They kind of stand on their own. They're very strong, very independent, because they have to be. But you have a part of you, and this wateriness that you have in your palm leaking into this air thumb, which is Venus, which has to do with social interaction. You want somebody to see through that and to see past it and to see this empathic water side of you and be like, hey, Isabella, you want to join in here? You want to do this? Now, another thing is that they are going to hesitate, as I said, until you let them see that sensitive side of you, which is that wateriness in the palm. Now, looking at some of your line work, obviously you are very empathic because you have line work into the Mount of Luna, okay? And that's what this area is right here on the hand, this little puffy area. You have some line work going into it. And Isabella, if you could please just respond to say that you are still here, I would really appreciate it. So would Richard, because I only read palms for, pardon? Okay, okay. All right, it happens, Richard. It happens. You know, people. All right, so what are we talking about? I bet you guys are like, what's going on? All right, so it's important that you interact with me or any presenter when they are getting any type of reading on any platform. So, because this is for you. This is only for you. So Isabella has not responded, so we are going to move on. So if you are here, Isabella, just get in contact with me. Okay? Yes. Okay. Okay. We have somebody who sent their palm in at a strange angle, as being explained to me by Richard. So I'm gonna give it a look-see and see if I can pick anything up on it that I want to talk about. Okay. All right. So ready when you are. What was the last name again? I don't know what that was. Amanda. I've got the first name down. I've got the first name down, everybody. Yeah. Oh. All right. So is this Amanda's hand? Okay. Because you know what's at the bottom of the screen. Oh, there we go. McDade. Hi. Hey, Amanda. All right. And thank you. Yes, it's absolutely fine. Thank you very much. So, Amanda, you have another great hand. Now, obviously, it is you're kind of cupping your hand a little bit, so it is hard for me to see just how let's see the length of your palm, which is very important, okay? So, I'm going to focus on a couple things that are just sticking out here. You really have a very well balanced set of fingers. Now, there is one thing about your fingers, though. Venus, again with you. Now, you have water fingers. The length of your fingers is very long, okay? And also the width also determines that it is water we're dealing with here. Now, Venus, as I said, is social interaction. But according to this picture, as I said, you're cupping your hand a little bit, so it's a little hard to tell. We could try that. We're gonna try the other picture that you sent in, Amanda. So give me one sec. Richard is gonna. He's the one who has to deal with all the shenanigans with the photos. So, did you like that, Richard? Shenanigans. But and thank you for enjoying the show. I love doing this. I love helping people. It's I try to help people. So thank you, Amanda. And make sure everybody to check out sptv.uk. Check out the schedule. Check out events. Check out everything that SPTV has to offer because every day at 8 o'clock in the evening, UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is my time. There's always something going on, and people doing any type of reading. There's mediumship, there's tarot, there's all kinds of stuff. You name it, right? So there's also runes, and you can see that schedule. And all these readings are for free. So as I did not say before, I neglected to say, like, follow, and share. Share this out, people. Spread the love. Okay, do me a favor, spread it out. Spread the love, everybody. All right, Amanda. Woo! All right. You can totally see everything now on your hand. Thank you for sending this other picture in. Now, look at those water fingers, everybody, okay? Now, your thumb is on the longer side and it is higher up, meaning it's set higher on your palm, right? Where it joins the palm is higher up. So, you, my friend, Amanda, you also have an actor's formation, but a very dominant Saturn finger. Saturn finger is the bad middle finger. Very business, very militant, right? Dictatorial. That's who Saturn was, right? He was a Titan god. And Apollo, who is next to him, making up that actor's formation, right? Meaning you also have a bit of a mask that you hide behind when things get a little chaotic, right? Apollo is so much lower than him, meaning that you put your self-care and almost, I'm going to say this, self-worth. And I know those are hard words, but that's Apollo. Apollo is self-care, right? So you kind of put that on the back burner in order to do things that need to be done no matter what it is. People will just leave it and know that you will do it because somebody has to do it, and well, Amanda can do it. You need to stick up for yourself. Your thumb means where it is, when I didn't finish that thought, means that you want to be included. And the fact that people kind of leave you to do the dirty work for them is not being included. It really is not. That is people, thank you for confirming that, Amanda. That is people taking advantage of your energy and what you need to do and what you have to do for yourself. So Mercury, which as you might have heard me say earlier, is kind of like the backbone. He's the one, and this is the pinky. Do you see that space? I'm going to go like this with my hand so you can see what I'm talking about. You have a space there. That means that you have to be kind of personality-wise backed into a corner before you will be like, hey, and kind of speak up for yourself and kind of get in someone's face and point out that they have done something wrong and defend yourself. So understand you are going to have to, like in the very, very beginning, when I was doing that, it happens too often. Yep. Now, you have an opportunity here because of working with these elements that you have. You have a very good Jupiter finger. Now, don't let anybody tell you or push you around into believing that you are less than them. It is okay to feel secure and okay in your own skin and to feel confident. There are people that will push your buttons to keep you around so that you will keep doing stuff for them. Those aren't your people. You also isolate too much, which can be seen in the line work on the palm, between the relationship line, which is the top line, and between the wisdom line, which is the second line down, right below that runs across the same way. They're parallel to each other. You need to have deeper lines. I do see what I think are some lines, very, very shallow lines, meaning they're not very deep. And they're not very deep because the relationships themselves are not very deep relationships, meaning you feel like you have to put up your guard around them, which is that actor's formation, right? Look at me, I'm fine, I'll keep working, see this smile, that kind of thing. So how to get out of that is to stick to who you are, who you know you are, and learn how to say no. Because you, my friend, get very, very drained, and you have a mission now. You got to put yourself out there. You're going to put yourself out there to find those people who just want to be around you, who don't want you to do things that they don't want to do. They just want to be around you and enjoy your company. So I hope that helped, Amanda. Okay, and if you have any questions, just get in contact with me. And thanks for sending in that other picture. Completely changed everything. Okay. I'm going to take another quick drink of water here. It's either a lot of water or a lozenge. And a lozenge, while trying to do a lot of talking, no bueno. No bueno. Meaning no good. It's not good. Not good. Okay. All right. So who else do we have? Richard? These darn earbuds. I swear. Okay. So I have been on, let's see. Okay. Wow. So how is everybody liking the palmistry that has never experienced it before? I'm curious. Because my type of palmistry, as I said, is more of a soul-based palmistry. So I do go back and read people's comments if it's not shown to me, because I have a completely different screen that I see versus what all of you in the chat actually have, okay? So I do go back sometimes. All right. So, all right, Regan. Now, Regan, I can't remember, is this the hand that you write with? I do think that there is a lot of change in the hand. I have actually read Regan's hand before, just so everybody knows, and it's been quite a while. You still have very pillow-like areas on your hand, Regan. Now, what does that mean? There might be some of you saying, what does a pillow-like area mean? Almost looks very squishy, right? Like a little pillow, right? Like almost jelly-ish, right? Like you squish it. And as you can see on Regan's hand, there are a lot of areas on her palm that reflect that quality. That means that there are a lot of untapped abilities that she has, and you know this, Regan, that she has not started to work with yet. Now, also, Regan, on your hand, you do have something called a sister line. And I do believe the sister line has gotten deeper since I've last looked at your hand. Now, what is a sister line? That's probably what you're asking. Well, this line right here, and hope you can see my hand, this line that wraps around like that, okay, that is the lifeline. Now, this right here toward the thumb is called the Mount of Venus. Now, any line in this area that runs parallel to the lifeline kind of goes like that, right? And as you can see, Regan has that. That represents a spirit, a family member, a friend, an angel, some benevolent, meaning good energy on the other side in heaven or whatever your personal beliefs are that kind of watches over you and tries to prevent the worst of an event from having the worst effect on you. So they will kind of take the hit first, because this whole area has to do, as I've said before, because it's connected with Venus, has to do with social interaction. However, the line work that goes toward the lifeline, those little tiny fine lines are negative situations caused by people that you may know and may not know. But it's just stuff that you cannot shake. Now, Regan, there you go. As I said, that line is a lot deeper, Regan. It really, really is. Now, as you can see on your screen, yep, that line, if that line is deeper, that means they are closer and they are more involved in what's going on in your day-to-day activities. If that line is a little bit superficial or shallow, meaning it's very faint, that means they're just kind of watching from afar and they're kind of more hands off, right? Now, that makes absolute sense, Regan. Now, another thing is, when are you going to start doing readings for people? You have so many abilities on your hand. And that is all that pillow-like stuff I was talking about earlier when I first started looking at your hand. It, to me, as I recall, is even more enhanced now than it was before, several months ago. So you're like, your dreams are very vivid. You are getting downloads all the time. You are picking up on energies around you. Things are kind of ripe and ready for you to start diving into that whole area of yourself that you really have been kind of putting the pause button on. And you also have line work on your hand that kind of backs up what I'm saying. And that can be seen over in here, which is the Mount of Luna, which is all, or Mount of Selene, if you want to go Greek or Roman here. And that is the moon. Yeah, that is right, Regan. That is right. Now, that's what those numbers mean. When we see those numbers, we have a direct connection, okay? So this whole area is all about how intuitive a person is, empathic, right? Psychic abilities. Because what does the moon control? Controls water, controls the tides, right? So that's, as I said, water hands, the water, the element itself is highly intuitive, very emotionally sensitive, right? So, Regan, I've been I have been, but in my circles, I'm terrified of failing. They're constantly around. I'm tracking so many people who are so lost every day. Now, my advice to you, Regan, because you are just in the beginnings of this, right? And you are saying you're being overwhelmed because it's just like coming at you. You really have to just create that shield so that you can decide what you want to do with what you have to work with. Now, shielding is something that is a huge discussion, so I'll just tell you this. It's very individual, meaning it's very based on the individual, what works for the individual. It's not like I could tell you, oh, surround yourself in a white light. Now, I may kind of make a lot of people angry here, but just process this factoid for about 5 minutes, okay? Now, if you have a light on in the dark and the window's open, or let's say the light is on the front porch and it's summertime and it's nice and warm, right? What is that light, that bright white light that's turned on, going to attract? It's going to attract every bug and every mosquito across the county, okay? So when you say, oh, just surround yourself in a bright white light, it might make it easier for you to see, might blind some people because the light is so bright, but you're going to be facing more issues, in my opinion, and with people that I have worked with in the past, okay, meaning clients. So really just think about what would work for you, what would be best, okay? And if you want me to kind of tell you what has worked for some of my clients in the past, Regan, just get in touch with me, or if anybody wants any information about that, that's just get in touch with me, Rachel G. Palmistry, okay? And I would definitely help you out there, give you some advice, gratis, okay? Because I like helping people. So Regan, I hope that helped, all right? Hope that helped. Now, as I said, Isabella, okay. Oh, Isabella, okay. Thank you for actually commenting, even if it was a bit late. Thank you for that. Isabella was a bit late coming back into the whole thing here, so she did see the reading, but a little bit late. But hey, better late than never, Isabella, right? And thank you for your kind words, and I hope that it helped in some way, okay? So, and as again, I will reiterate, if anybody does need any type of advice about shielding or anything like that, if you feel comfortable with me, just contact me. We can talk about it. We can absolutely talk about it. All right, so Richard, let's see. How long have I been on here? What is that? Oh, Kelly. It just popped up. I was like, wait. Oh my. Okay. All right. We do have some adverts. Okay, we do have some adverts. I will be right back, everybody.
Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting our annual recognition of achievements, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives through spiritual acts of kindness. Candidates can register and put themselves forward to be acknowledged. Viewers can also nominate who they feel should be recognized for an achievement. Exclusively broadcasted live on SPTV, with 100% of the public votes being announced on Saturday the 27th of May from 7:30 p.m. For more information, please visit awards.spiritualpsychicstv.online. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together. My Spirit Life is a free online interactive magazine for those who have an interest in improving their spiritual lives. Authors can upload images, videos, and audio clips to their own articles. The public can place comments, rate the article, and follow the author. All articles are vetted before being published. For more information and to place your own article, please visit myspiritlife.co.uk. Join Ashley Robinson tomorrow night from 8 p.m. Ashley offers his spiritual philosophy while answering your questions.
I told you I'd be back. I'm like a bad penny. I just keep turning up, all right? Okay. Okay. All right. So, everybody, hello again. Kelly, let's take a look at your hand. It's good seeing you again. Hello, hello. It's been a while. Now, Kelly, is this the hand that you write with? Can you, it is? All right, you're a lefty. Okay, congrats. Congrats. That means you work with gray side of your brain, the very artistic, the very creative side. So you kind of already have stepped outside of that proverbial box, and you have your own way of kind of finding answers and completing projects and stuff. So kudos. Now, let's get down into this. Kelly, I think I read your hand a very, very long time ago. And when I say a long time ago, I mean like a year or two ago, okay? Like almost way back in the beginning when I joined SPTV. You have a very, very high, yeah, okay. Yes, thank you for confirming that, Kelly. Now, you have a very high set a very high set thumb, excuse me there. Now, the other thing is, and why do I say that, is because it is almost wanting to touch Zeus, aka Jupiter. Now, what that means, and again, this is just the human condition, everybody, and also Kelly, okay? I am in no way just pointing at you and saying, this is just you. Trust me, no. There are a lot of people that have this. But because of the position of your thumb and it being so long and being close to Jupiter, or Zeus, which happens to be the pointer finger, right? That means that there is a part of you that feels validated when people say, hey, come on, join in. Can you do this? Just help us out here. But then the bad thing is, Kelly, is that you will be, as came up before, you'll be the one to do the dirty work. Yes, you will be a part of what is going on, but you will also kind of be neglected once you get there. And that is because Apollo and Mercury are on the shorter side. Now, is Mercury, the pinky, always the shortest finger? About 90% of the time, okay? But if you notice on Kelly's hand, Mercury wants to come toward the palm, meaning kind of like go in toward the palm more so than the other fingers. So that means, Kelly, that there is an aspect of you that for as much as you put yourself out there, because you have a very good Jupiter finger, and you have a really strong Saturn finger, which is this finger right here, okay? Apollo is very low. And that means that you put your self-care on the back burner. And see, I knew it. I remembered you, Kelly. See there? Now, that means that you put your self-care and your personal needs on the back burner, because when someone says, hey, come on, you're like, oh, yes, you have that validation kind of thing, and you will jump in and actually help these people. Now, you do have some bridge work, those lines that kind of go between the relationship line and the wisdom line. But more so, you have lines further down the road, which I want you to pay attention to. because further down the road means this side. This is where the lines end, okay, in my readings. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? No, that's the beginning. I've been doing this 35 years. I have my own way of doing it based on a lot of reading and experience out there with people, okay? It's what works for me. Now, this is the end of the lines. This is the beginning of the lines up here, okay? So, up here. Now, as you can see way on down, you got a lot of lines coming off of your relationship line. Those can change. But right now, even in the here and now, you have stuff. And relationships don't mean significant others. It means every relationship. At work, like work relationships, friendships, people you just kind of come across and are chummy with. And it does also mean kind of stand for family, etc., etc. So it's every type of bond you might have with someone. So you have a lot of little spikes and chain work on your relationship line. And you do have, as I said, some bridge work on down the road, which means that there are people who are going to come into your life that you are going to have things in common with. But right now, in the here and now, Kelly, the people that are around you, how do I put this? You keep you to yourself in order to be a part of what's going on. So and again, this is part of being human. This is not me being hateful or mean, but Kelly, there's a part of you that says we have to hide what we really want and who we are in order to fit in. And Kelly, I'm telling you right now, you got to cut that out. You really, really do. Because there are other things in the line work on your hand that actually kind of say that you have help. Just like Regan, the last hand that was on the screen. Now you have, again, we're looking at your lifeline, all right? And from the lifeline, we're going toward the thumb. So in this big fleshy area here, parallel to the lifeline, you have a sister line. And they are here now. Sister lines, which I have not said, even though I've been harping on here for almost an hour, everybody. About 75% of the lines actually change every 6 to 8 weeks. Now, what lines do not change? I'm sorry I'm interrupting what you're reading here, Kelly, to explain this. But the lines that do not change: relationship, the wisdom line, the lifeline. The only way those lines change is in the depth of them, meaning how strong that energy shows up. Okay, sometimes it gets a little shallow, meaning it just looks like a faint line. Sometimes it gets really, really deep, like some of my lines on my hand. You might be like, whoa, wait, look at those. Now, what does change? Except for the fingerprints too. Those are actually the first lines to form. And everything else on the hand, other than those 3 lines and the fingerprints, that's what changes every 6 to 8 weeks. So, as of in the here and now, Kelly, you have a sister line that can actually help you get through how you feel about you. But you are going to have to, and I mean it, you are going to have to change the way you put yourself last. And you might say, and just like you said on the bottom of the screen, yes, always hide my real self as people don't understand me very well. It's because you're a lefty, okay? That lefty, I'm being honest, it's because of the energy that people who are left-handed give off. Richard just inhaled very sharply here. Now, this is not a bad thing, all you lefties out there. I actually love lefties, and I'm not just saying that because Richard took a sharp intake of breath, okay? Because left-handed people, as I said in the very beginning when I applauded Kelly for being a lefty, they know how to think out of the box. They do. Because the left hand works with the right side of the brain, whereas the right hand works with the analytical, very black and white side of the brain, the left side. So people who are lefties are very, very creative and can see things and understand things that other people just won't get. So keep in mind, Kelly, you have a lot to offer people, not just because you're a lefty, but because of how your hand is kind of put together. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there, the true you, because you have somebody on the other side who is here with you in the here and now that is going to try to guide you through all the murky waters and all of like what people throw at you. Okay? So yeah, just go out there, and it's going to be uncomfortable because of what Mercury and how Mercury is placed on your hand. So you are going to have that natural tendency to kind of want to keep you to yourself, meaning the true you. As you said, you always hide your real self, as people don't understand me very well. Well, yeah, but understand this. This is Mercury. He, in this type of palmistry, is your backbone, and he is the one who is going to tell it like it is. And he wants to hide toward your palm when your hand is a little bit relaxed. So do not let that happen. You're going to have to go out of your comfort zone a little bit and kind of modify how you are with people. And that will change everything for the good. It really will. Not just the better, but it will change things that you never thought could be changed, right? So I hope that helped, Kelly. I hope that helped. And I hope it was a little bit different than when I read you a couple years ago, okay? So if you have any questions, just reach out to me, as I keep saying. So I am going to start doing some cards now, everybody. And first off, quick drink of water. Okay. So because I'm kind of getting tired of all of the new takes, and Kelly is saying yes, always having. Okay, that was a repeat there at the bottom of the screen. All right, so as I'm kind of getting tired of seeing all of these new takes on tarot, right? I'm kind of a purist at heart, to be very honest with you. And so what I have here tonight is the classic tarot. Now, what does that mean, the classic tarot? That means this is based on basically the Rider-Waite deck. If I could have that other screen, Richard, please, so I can make sure people see the cards. Okay, thank you. Great. All right, so this is based on the Rider-Waite deck. Now, what is the Rider-Waite deck? The Rider-Waite deck is what almost every deck across the globe is based on, okay? But this just happens to be called the Classic Tarot because it has the original illustrations. Yes. The original illustrations were drawn by a woman who was part of the Golden Dawn movement and also went to my college alma mater, which I found out later, and I was like, oh, really? Maybe that's why I was drawn here. But anyway, that's a whole other topic. Now, so these cards are the Rider-Waite, as I said. They're not Thoth, they're not Lenormand, they're not Oracle, but they are beautiful. So everybody buckle up. Okay. Now, these readings are going to be very quick. We're talking like a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And as I said in the very beginning of this show, the if you have any questions about something I might have said with the card, reach out. So we have a Banshee. Personally, I like the Banshees, okay? Not just Susie and the Banshees as a band, but I don't know. I've always been drawn to the whole ideology of what a Banshee is, even when I was little. So anyway, you get a card. All right, so I'm also working with a cut solar quartz that is undyed. It's not dyed, okay? So it's basically a stalactite that has been cut, and that is the rough side, okay? That's the natural side, and this is when they cut it. That was what the center of it looks like. So there is a little bit of amethyst in there, and this is what I'm working with the cards. So this is what has been on top of my cards all day. And here is your card. We have the Ace of Cups. So as you can see, this is very, very kind of old looking, right? And they have kind of antiqued it up a little bit to give it that appearance, but they're very beautiful cards. See the back, this is the front. Now with the Ace of Cups, as you can see, this is kind of divine intervention saying, here's a cup. Do something with this cup. And it is also overflowing. Now, what does this mean for you, Banshee? Well, this means that there is going to be a bit of an emotional situation that pops up. It's just in the beginning stages, but you're already starting to see like, oh, wait a minute, you know, that hesitation, and pay attention to that. Be very observant of what's going on around you. And also with the ace, because it is the beginning of the suit, understand that this is not a bad thing. This is the universe kind of stepping in and saying it's time for a change. But because things might be a little bit stagnant for quite a while, that's where the emotion comes in. Because sometimes people have a hard time with change. So understand that emotion is going to happen. Change is going to happen, but it is in your life, but it is for the greater good. Divine intervention. Can't argue with it. Okay. And again, the cups are water, and what is water? Emotion. So that is where that ideology comes from. So what else do we have, Richard? At your pace. Bernie, hello. Now, let's get your card. Ooh, we have the Knight of Wands. Now, as we all know, the knights are out there, that they're the ones that do the dirty work for all the higher ups, right? Now, wands are fire. So what we are dealing with is that energy that brings around change. So you are going to have to kind of struggle through a change that is happening kind of all around you. And I'm curious about what that change is. It's not a bad change, Bernie. Not a bad change. But there is a change afoot. And I think that's kind of a common thing, to be quite honest with you. And even readings that I have been doing with clients outside of like tonight, okay, or this afternoon. But a lot of change is going on everywhere. But keep in mind the knights. So you are going to have to kind of use your strength to get through it. You're going to get a little dirty. You're going to get a little war-torn, meaning that you're going to be put through the ringer a little bit. Kind of the same aspect as the Ace of Cups, but this is with fire. So this means that this is something that is right around the corner, because the elements in tarot, earth, air, water, fire, right? Which I know that this is wands, but wands are fire. Time-wise means that it's very going to happen very soon. Whereas with water, it's about a week or two, and so on and so forth. It just gets longer as we go, okay? So pay close attention to those situations that are around you that are going to change whether you like it or not. Okay? So there you go. Hope that helped. All right. Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for that kind compliment. Okay. Ooh. All right. So we got pentacles here. Pentacles are earth, and we have the 7. Now, the 7 is, well, the 7 of pentacles, and with it being earth, this means a very long time, right? Situation, months and months, right? So there is something building up. And with this particular card, with the 7 of pentacles, or 7 of earth, or 7 of coins, because it's also known as that, this card is all about kind of saving for the future, but also kind of borderline hoarding, because you can't, so with this card, it represents not being able to see the forest for the trees after a while. So understand, what we save for a rainy day, sometimes we can't see that it's raining outside when we're saying that to ourselves, okay? Hope you understood that. I said it pretty fast there, but that's exactly what was going through my head. Now, with you, understand that sometimes it's okay to use what we have in the moment that is presented to us, instead of waiting and keeping things for the long haul. Do not get overwhelmed, because if you do wait and keep things for the long haul, that is when that that old adage that I just said a moment ago, when you can't see the forest for the trees, that's when that happens. So it's okay. I mean, this person here, as you can see in the original illustration, is pondering, okay, what am I going to do with this? All right. So understand, it's time to use some of what you have. It is time. And that time and moment and when it should happen will pop up. It will. And you, I have no doubt, will be able to realize that moment. But you might hesitate. Do not hesitate. Okay. Hope that helped. All right. Jeanette, absolutely. You have a card. Okay. Oh, we got a Major Arcana card. Major Arcana, if you are unaware, there are 2 different types of cards in tarot. There's Minor Arcana, which is like day-to-day stuff, and then there's Major Arcana, which is extreme, quick, really big life changes. And we have the original illustration here, which includes some drawn nudity, but not any salacious kind of stuff. But just to tell you, okay, just forewarned is forearmed, okay? So this is the star. This is the original illustration for the star. Now with the star, there is a give and a take. And that is exactly what is going on here. Now you can see that, is she dumping water back into that little pond, or is she taking water out of that pond? Well, she's doing both. She has an empty pitcher. She also has a pitcher that is pouring water back in, okay? So, this is where the star is basically saying that divine guidance is here. Probably in your dreams, Jeanette, you probably have I'm kind of being told you have very, very vivid dreams, okay? So, what type of balance do you have in your life right now? Because that is what this card is all about, okay? Now, not just balance, but like balance that can further you, like career-wise, family-wise, just your life in general. Those things that you have always wanted, right? Sometimes we have to give as much as we receive, just to kind of pay it forward and help others. And then in return, on down the line when we least expect it, we might have those people out of the blue help propel us forward without asking for anything. That's the type of stuff that is the star card, okay? That balance. So be kind to people, be there for people. Remember that there is a give and take in the world, and remember to be on the good side of that give and take, meaning be very aware of who sincerely needs help and would benefit from it. And you'll be surprised what happens to you in the future. All right. So who else do we have, Richard? Tina. Hello there. I think you've watched my show before, and I've always tried to accuse you of being an old classmate of mine. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Yeah, I do have the runes on my nails. Not all of them. But I have specific ones on specific fingers for specific reasons. I'm weird. And I love it. Okay. All right. So, Tina, here's your card. Oh, all right. We have the 9 of Wands. So we have a fire card. And as you can see, we also have a lot of battle scars, battle injuries, right? Because you are in the thick of it. All of these wands are down, meaning the situation that kind of got you to look this way, right, that you went through, it's done. It's done. It's absolutely finished. But now here you are, and it's not even the last card in this particular suit. So it's like, what next? That's where you're at, Tina. It's like, what next? What's going to happen? What's around the corner now? Well, let me tell you. You are going to have to kind of understand that this is all, as I said before, and as a common thread in what's going on energetically with a lot of clients that I have, you are going to have to kind of just pull yourself up by the bootstraps and just go out there and keep persevering. Just keep going. Just keep your head up and keep going. Take a little pause, as you see you are doing right here, right? But understand that the worst of it is over, okay? You need to learn from it. You need to move forward. And when you do move forward, you will have more strength to kind of work with what is ahead of you and what is being caused by other people around you, because that's what this card is about. All of it is over, at least they think it is. But when you get your energy back, ooh, look out, okay? There you go. That's what the 9 wands, the 9 of fire is about. And also remember, this is something that is like a week or even days, a situation that has been, yes, I do keep persevering. I've learned from it and I'm moving forward. Good. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When you do get your energy back, right? Show them who's boss. Because you have been through the thick of it. So you have a lot of wisdom that you can use and you can apply if you choose to do so. Okay? So I think that is me for today, everybody. I'm starting to lose my voice, as you might be able to tell. Sorry, everybody. Thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you for joining SPTV. Thank you for sending in your pictures. Everybody give a big thanks to Terry, and also Richard, who's the producer and does all this work and has been putting your photos in front of me here and kind of mishmashing them all together for me. He does this just out of the goodness of being Richard. Okay, so everybody give him a round of applause, big thank yous, and don't forget, check out sptv.uk. You can check out the calendar and see who's doing what when, and do not forget to like, follow, and also share when you watch any of these presentations or these shows, whatever you want to call them. And I'd also appreciate it if you shared my show out, because that does also add as a share for SPTV, okay? And if you have any questions, I hope you know by now how to reach me. So thank you very much. And remember how important you are. Remember, your energy, your soul energy is alive in this particular life. Do not tell yourself and degrade yourself and tell yourself nastiness, because that sinks in and that affects your energy. You are much stronger and you are more important than you will ever be able to fathom. And the fact that you are here in this particular life just shows that you have something to add into what's going on in the grander scheme of things in this world today. So do not ever give up on yourself. I send you lots of love and big thank you. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Everybody take care. And Kelly, thank you for your kind words. She says, thank you for a lovely show as always, for my lovely reading. You're very welcome, Kelly. And everybody, have a good night, have a good afternoon, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.